Hi guys, welcome back to Money and Chi, your financial vlog. And this week we will be discussing another stock, which is Bloom or Bloomberry Resorts. Okay, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and hit the notification button para like nyo updated. And also, I'm inviting you guys to join my Patreon account for monthly updates, weekly portfolio, trade alerts, and all of those cute things. Anyways, guys, you can also take a free course in Stocks Ed, and if ever you wanted to do the paid courses, you can get or use my discount code, which is Money and Chi. Okay, so if you guys are ready, let's start now. You can't overcome crises, you can only survive them. So we set ourselves to be able to survive this. We expect crisis more often than other people do. I always expect to wake up to another crisis, so we're always prepared for that. That's always at the back of our minds. Those are the words of Mr. Enrique Razon Jr. So he's the CEO. So if you just listen to what he said, he's always prepared for a crisis, and that includes coronavirus, no? And I guess the reason for them saying this is because their company's been there for like years or decades already. So it's one of the oldest companies in the Philippines as well. And they're probably gone through a lot of crisis, and that's why they're always prepared. Walang crisis na makapagpatumba sa kanila. Ganyan. So that's a good sign in terms of management. So we'll discuss that later as well. So I think if you're a risk-averse investor and you want a company that lasts a very long time, then any company that Razon has is something good for you, okay? And that includes Bloomberry or Bloom. So before we move on to a lot of things, ang dami ko na namang sinasabi. So let's start now with our first part, which is analyze, and we will do the qualitative analysis. So okay, first things first, we have to check the organizational chart of Bloom. What are the things that are under their umbrella? Ano yung mga companies or ano yung mga businesses that they have, okay? So, as you can see, they have 100% ownership of Bloomberry Resorts, Japan Inc. So far, they don't have a Japan, but looking at this, it seems like they have plans of doing that. They have Solaire Korea, Code Ltd. They already have in Korea, so they have Movie Agricultural Corporation and Golden and Luxury Company Ltd. So they have more or less 80 to 86% of that, you can see. So by the way, guys, they actually have a casino hotel gaming stuff in Korea. It's located in, what's that nice place in Korea? I forgot. It's in the south part. Jeju. It's in Jeju Island. So if you ever go to Jeju, you can visit Bloom there. And then they have Suresta Properties Inc. I think this is some kind of PEZA stuff. And then they have Bloomberry Resorts and Hotel, of course. They have 100% ownership of that. And then Falconer Aircraft Management Inc. I don't know what that is, but probably, naman, diba? They say, fina-fly nila yung mga higher stakes people, like the gamblers who goes to Philippines, high profile. They have special jet, diba? From the airport to the casino, so it's a special service. I'm thinking that's it. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I think it is. And of course, they also own 100% Bloom Capital BV. And then Bloomberry Cruise Terminal Inc. I don't know what that is, but they have a terminal, so in ICT. So I cannot find it so far. I didn't have enough time to actually look into it. Pero we will focus on those stuff that are operational right now, okay? But as you can see, if they have this other ownership, that means that they have plans on doing that in the future. So like for example, in Japan, wala pa silang Solaire in Japan. So most likely in the future, no, it's a good indicator that they might have a Japan franchise or whatever. They will put up something in Japan. And yeah, I think that's it for now. So next one, we'll walk through the revenue stream, no? So ano ba yung pinagkakitaan ni Bloomberry? And the first one is of course the gaming. So their gaming is 87% of their revenue. So as you can see, diba, sabi diba sa mga palabas, the house never lose or the house always wins, diba? So if you're super galing, they actually sends you out. I'm not telling you to make sugal ha, or do gambling. They always say that stocks trading is like gambling, but actually that's not true. I have to clarify that. Siguro just a little bit. If you actually do, you know, basura stocks, of course that's gambling. But stocks trading is using historical data to forecast the future so that your statistics can actually be increased, no? So your probability of winning increases. So that's what trading is for. And of course, you also invest on companies that have good background, good earnings and all that. So that's what you do in stocks investing or trading. So it's not gambling ha, guys. So yung mga pilosa po dyan, duh. Anyway, so that's one, the gaming. Food and beverages, they have that, pero probably small. And then they have retail and others, and interest income. So, yun lang masasabi ko. Okay, so now we move on to the part when I share with you my experience of that company. And I love this kasi I like sharing my experience on those products. And for me as well, every time I do my investment, I have to make sure that I tried and tested their products first or whatever they have their service, or at least I know someone who likes it, or if ever not, like I'll ask my friends, how do you think about this? And then from there I will know, diba, if a product is good and the company is actually good and it's something that people will actually buy all the time. So if ever you wanted to get into Bloom, you have to visit Solaire at least once. You don't have to stay there kasi mahal yung hotel nila, diba? But you can just go there. So for me, I love watching musicals. That's why I've been there a lot of times. And that's the reason why as well I was able to get into their gaming area, no? So, yung casino part nila. So, of course, I will tell you my experience. So, I also went to other locations like Resorts World, and of course the thing that you do is you compare it with the others, right? So what I can say about Solaire, when you enter it, it's very high class, okay? It's one of those casinos na parang very new pa rin, even though it was built long time ago. Hindi naman super long time ago, pero it never lost its its cleanliness. It's high profile. Napakaganda nung interior niya. I really like it. Even in sa mall, diba, they have the retail as well. So in the retail area as well, they have, by the way, patchy. If you ever go there, please try patchy. It's a chocolate, actually. It's super sarap. Super sarap yun. I first tried it in Dubai, and oh my god, I have allergy in chocolate ha, pero ayan, matik na ako mga hospital sa kakain nun, pero that's one thing that you should try. If you love chocolates, you have to try patchy, okay? Hindi ako binayaran ng patchy, pero masarap talaga siya. So, if they have that there, they have expensive brands there as well. The food is okay, kasi like, for example, there are some, like, for example, si Resorts World, nung nanood ako doon, hindi ko, mahal, okay guys, mahal talaga ang food sa loob. Kasi, syempre, they pay high rent for that, diba? So, when I was there, mahal yung food, hindi pa masarap. So, hindi naman sa hindi masarap, parang medyo matamlay lang. Hindi yung ina-expect mo na binayaran mo for that price. Para bang hindi enough. Or sobrang mahal, hindi ko talaga siya ma-afford. Kasi, para sa ganong food, for me lang para sa ganong food, I don't want to pay that much. So, usually, before I watch musicals, I eat outside na. So that when I go there, I don't really have to buy anything in the restaurant. Kasi it's really pricey. And hindi ganong kasarap. And, by the way, guys, if you also go to the casino, they have free drinks, diba? So, manood-nood ka lang. Pas kuha ka ng kape, kuha ka ng juice, kuha ka ng free water, ganyan. So, maraming free doon. So, kapag pumunta kayo, don't forget to take some free stuff. Okay? And of course, I also, nung nagpunta ako doon, naalala ko yung sa gaming, diba? Kasi I was thinking, sige nga, matry nga natin, ganyan. So, there's this one person na nandun sa table, and I don't know kung anong nilalaro niya, something like that. Yung tao, I don't know what you call them, pero yung naglalabas ng card, ganyan, card person. Parang, in a span of 5 minutes, or even less. Kasi di ba lalabas mo lang yung blackjack yata yun, or something. Tapos, you make taya, and then loser, tapos next ka agad. Ang bilis, sobrang bilis. Like, wala man lang time huminga, na parang, teka lang, naubos na yung pera ko. Teka lang, walang ganon, guys. So, hindi ka gaya sa stocks na makikita mo muna, unti-unting nawawala, di ba? Pwede kang mag-out. Pero sa, parang, tak, seconds, guys. Seconds, ubos yung pera niya. And I was shocked, diba? So, syempre, lang yun, tokens and all that. Pero, na-shock lang ako talaga. Ang bilis lang pala ng game and mawala ng pera. Tapos, isa pa, guys. So, when I was walking, ganyan. So, meron kasi doon na parang digital na siya. Tapos, meron, parang siyang vending machine. Lalagay mo yung pera doon. Tapos, i-absorb niya. Tapos, pwede kang tumaya-taya ulit or something. So, there's this one guy. Hindi siya mukhang mayaman. Pero ang dami niyang pera. Nainggit ako talaga. As in, yung isang bag niya. Parang puno-puno ng cash. So, sa isip ko, oh my God, I have to invest in Bloom kasi ang daming nagkurakot this time. Sa COVID. So, they will all go there and spend their money. So, they're probably gonna go rich this time. Sorry. I shouldn't be saying this. Pero, yeah, I think the gamblers or those people will go there and gamble their money. So, syempre, diba, tax natin yun. So, might as well gain from it. So, anyways, guys, so yun nga, nagulat ako doon sa ganong surroundings. Although, you don't really feel it that way kasi para siyang hotel and napakalinis niya, napaka-grand niya, and I don't feel like it's old na. Unlike, nagpunta ako sa Resorts World, medyo parang old na siya talaga. And also yung DreamWorks, yung may DreamWorks. I forgot the name. Okay, so the next thing that we will check is the hotel. Honestly, I've never been to the hotel kasi hindi ko siya afford. Mahal niya, ha? Okay, so hindi ko rin trip mag-staycation, okay? If I have to spend hotel for a staycation, I'd rather go somewhere else, maybe in Bantayan Island. You know, I'd rather spend my money there than pay for a staycation in Manila. Like, what the heck? I mean, seriously, I won't do that. So, I never experienced that unless it's free. If somebody gave me a free room, then definitely I'll try it, but I'll not pay for my own money for that. It's something that I wouldn't. The last one, of course, I wanted to talk about is the musicals, okay? Super critical ako when it comes to musical. Just so you know, feeling singer ako. So, and I did theater as well in college. So, very important sa akin, like the sound system and the stage and everything. So, I will tell you my experience on that. Because I love CCP. And I will always choose CCP over any other theater in Philippines. And I thought Solaire would be different, like better. So, first of all, the sitting. Yung sitting niya is medyo steep, which is good kasi you can actually see it, like parang close ka, even though you paid for the higher places, no? So, mas mura. Pero it doesn't feel like it's so small kasi the way it was designed, no? So, you can still see it closely, which is good, no? So, that's one good factor about it. The stage is small, but anyways, if you go to Broadway, it's not that big as well. Like, if you go watch Aladdin, the stage is not that big as well. So, it's okay. But the thing is, I didn't like the sound system. Honestly, very critical sa akin yun. And if I don't like the sound system, and it's a musical, you have to hear it, diba? You have to feel the feelings through singing. And if it's not there, it's just useless for me. So, me, I wouldn't pay for, you know, staying in front. Yung Lion King was very good there kasi there's not much of singing, no? Mas maraming dancing and animals out there. But in terms of yung mga Les Miserables, mga ganyan, hindi siya good for me. For me, It's up to you. I don't know if you like it, but for me, it's not that good because the sound system is not very good for me. I don't like it. I'm so sad about it. And I wouldn't pay to get into the front because of that. If ever, I will still go there, but because lahat naman ng musical dun ginagawa recently, diba? So I'll just pay for the medyo murang side. Yun lang yung issue ko with Solaire. The rest is okay naman. And yeah, I think I don't really know in terms of being gambler, kung why will you choose Solaire over other gambling place? I have no idea. Maybe I should ask my gambler friends. I have one. Pero yun, it's kind of difficult to answer that question. So the latest news about Bloom is that they purchased the land where Solaire sits from Pagcor. So that will reduce their operational expense. But of course, it's a capital expense. So the problem is because nagkaroon nga ng COVID, so they're probably hit with the interest rate and all that. So those things, COVID pa rin. So maraming nag-close, then don't expect any earnings from them. Definitely, it's a loss then. And they also have a new Solaire in QC. It will open on 2022, okay? So the construction, of course, was a little bit of delayed because of COVID, of course. So that's why I think it should be done by 2021, but because of COVID, it's now moved to 2022. So just so you know, there will be another Solaire. So that's a good catalyst for me, huh? And of course, now let's move on to the management. Of course, the head is Enrique Razon Jr. So Razon to. And you know naman, ang biggest ownership ni Razon, diba, is the ICT. So it's one of the big names in Philippines. Actually, siya lang naman ang third na pinakamayaman sa Pilipinas with a net worth of $5.2 billion. Yaman ni Kuya, no? Pengi po ng libreng Solaire room. sa malalaking companies, hindi lang sila maingay, like the Ayalas or C, ganyan. Pero it's one of the biggest. And actually, they have, you know, they own the ports, the terminals, diba? So, everything that is imported and exported, dumadaan sa kanila. So, that's why it's one of the big companies as well. And as you know naman, because of globalization, there's a lot of, you know, buying and selling. But we're not talking about ICT. This is Bloom video. So, I'm just explaining to you the management of what their day, diba? So, gaano katagal na ba sila sa business? Napakatagal na nila. So, it's decades worth of management. So, third generation na si Enrique Razon Jr. sa kanilang company. So that's why he's also really built on, you know, crisis and anything that, you know, you can think of. It's one of those companies na malakas talaga. And for me, whenever I trade lang, just in case something went wrong, like for example, Bloom doesn't work well or may masamang mangyari, I know for a fact that the mother company, which is ICT, can save it kasi they don't really want to fail, no? So usually they infuse cash, and I've learned that a lot of times in my previous work. Then usually the mother company infuse cash. So in this case, probably ICT is infusing cash in Bloom in case that they weren't really able to pay for the loan. And usually naman naka-guarantee rin naman yung mother company. So actually, the company started in 1916. Diba? It's more than 100 years na. And it started by his grandfather. So that's why he's third generation. And after World War II, diba? Before World War pa siya, ni-rebuild siya nung father ni Razon Jr. So, ni Mr. Razon Jr. Wala, close talaga, ni Razon. Yeah, so let's move on to the sustainability. For this one, I think it's very good that they have a sustainability report. They have that in their website, and you can read it if you're into sustainability. I love sustainability, so I read that a little bit. Pero just so you know, guys, if you're looking at international investing, and usually yung mga investors sa Philippines or funds that invest in Philippines are international, so from US, and they now require ESG factor, no? So some of them require that you have a sustainability report, and it means that if they have a sustainability report, then hindi sila masyadong mahihirapan in terms of buying and selling of the international funds, no? So there's no restriction for them with that. So yun lang yung isa sa bagay na very important and critical as well. It means that it's gonna be traded more. So okay guys, before we move on to the next part, I would like to invite you to hit the subscribe button and the notification button para palagi kang updated sa videos natin. So I think that's all for the qualitative analysis. Now let's move on to the quantitative analysis.
Guys, you're looking at Bloomberry's 5-year earnings performance. So first, let's look at this. As you can see from 2015, they have a negative earnings. It went up in 2016 and then 2017, 18, and 19. Everything is always upward. Well, of course, that's different for this year. And we'll show that to you later. You can see na yung EPS niya is negative. So, for the EPS, as you can see, of course, it's also turning upward, moving upward because of the EPS is earnings per share. So you just divide that by number of shares. That's why earnings, just look at earnings and then you'll know that the EPS is also going up. And then the PE ratio is actually going down, which means that it's getting cheaper, Kasi yung price niya versus the earnings niya. So the price is going down but the earnings is going up. So let's check at the price. Actually, the price is also going up, This is the year-end price. So from 6, naging 10, naging 9, naging 11.3. But even though the price is going up, the EPS is still going down. It means that the earnings is going up more than the price increase of Bloomberry. So that signals a very good fundamental in terms of quantitative. So yeah, that's one thing. Trailing 12-month EPS is negative 41, which means that if you invested 8 pesos, you actually lost this much, okay? Because of COVID. So that's the reality of it. The PE ratio is of course negative as well, 19.9, and I don't know which company we can actually compare it with as of the moment. So we can also see the consensus, this is provided by First Metro Sec, and as you can see, in terms of consensus, the highest one is 14.65, the average is 8.67, and the lowest is 5.8. So if you just look at this is where the people wants the price to go, so there's still an upside even at the average level. And then the consensus rating is actually add. So
Broker's recommendation from Call Financial, and this is from August. So wala tayong new or latest broker's recommendation. So I think this is outdated. We shouldn't really look at this, but just so you know, they have a fair value of 8 per share. Okay, so that's just all I can say. So guys, after that, let's move on now to charting.
At the chart of Bloom. Okay, so currently it closed at 8.16. This is recording today, January 17. And as you can see, it's currently here. So all of the EMAs are getting closer and closer to each other. The 50 EMA is still above the 200 EMA, which means it's still a bullish trend. So if we just create a line here and see, where is this going to, you can see that it's still within the trend line. Okay, so once it breaks this trend line, probably below 200 EMA, siguro you need to close your trades if ever you are in it. Okay, so as long as it stays within this trend line and not, the price doesn't go below 200 EMA, then we can still expect a very bullish trend. But for now, yeah, you can either buy here or wait until it, goes back to upward trend. Because right now, it's still consolidating at this point. So even if you look at this an uptrend and then this is some kind of flag here, So we have to wait until this price breaks either up or down. So that's the very critical thing to wait. Either it breaks going up or breaks going down. So we look at the MACD naman. So there's some kind of crossing, close na siya into crossing. And also the RSI is not overbought yet. Nandito pa siya. And for you to act accordingly, probably tomorrow, you will know which price will it go, whether it's gonna go up or it's gonna go down. So you just have to make sure that you monitor Bloom and enter based on the right timing, right? So that's all, guys, for charting.
Just to recap, guys, Bloom, if you want to invest in it, you have to know if it's a good company, right? So I suggest you go there, you check the facilities, you don't gamble, ha? Wag baka sabihin nyo, mag-comment kayo sa akin, "Chi, nagpunta ako doon, gambler na ako." Wag naman, diba? So I hope you go there just to feel it and to see ano ba karaming naglalaro, ganyan, how fast it is, and if you ever went to their hotel, you like it. If you watch musical there, you like it. So those are the things or the factors that you can think of, and if you want to invest in it, of course you have to look at the chart, when to buy, when to sell, diba? And then also if you like the future of the company, so as mentioned earlier, they have a new Solaire in QC coming up soon, so that's a good catalyst. They also bought the land, which will reduce their operational expense. So those are the things, diba? So for me, it's some kind of good, but of course, remember, COVID happened and they will not earn within a year. Probably they can recover in 2 years. We're not sure about that. Let's see kung gaano karaming magsusugal this time. And if you're not into gummies or it's something immoral for you, don't invest on it, okay? So I'm only investing on it. I don't make sugal, but I invest on it just because I think it's gonna be a good company. It has a good management as well. The chart, as you can see, it has some potential, but you have to wait until it's the right time, of course. And that's it. So if you guys like the video, please like it and hit the subscribe button. If you can share it, please share it as well. And also, if you want to join my eToro account, you can click on the link below. Please join using my link para naman I can have some affiliate earnings from that to help my channel. My username is chichow. You can follow me there and then you can join my daily live stream. Yeah, and also I will be having an IPO webinar. I will have an early registration. The thing is, we have to wait for the next IPO. So I just need to get your emails if you want to sign up for that. And then when it comes out, the prospectus, so I will send a follow-up email for you guys. So that's it, guys. I hope you have a new year and good luck to your tradings. Happy investing!